What I'd like to go through in this module is the difference between imported CAD files that are in STEP format and in IGS format. Typically, we like to pull in the IGS format into Faro just because it gives us the ability to look at individual surface patches for doing iterative alignment using surface points. And I'll go through that in other modules as well. But I just want to show you the difference between the two files as they're imported in. So I've got a blank SAT file open right now. So I will go over to my File pull-down menu, to the Import CAD, and I'm going to go to one of my clients here, STM. All right, this client has also got this hub plate in there as a step model. So I'll look at the file of type that is step. And there it is right there. So I will double click on that to pull it on in. It'll take it just a couple seconds and it'll read that step file into my SAT file. And there it comes in. Okay, now what I'll do is I will zoom in just a little bit more into this area here, just to show some of that content there. And I'll hit the R key for regenerating the view here. And that makes it look a little bit cleaner. Now notice all of the entities that are in here. All of these circles look like cylinders with various lines on them. And it looks like there's a matrix of lines running through the part and through the slot and through the upstanding flange. Well, that's the step model that came in. And typically we see step models coming in as solid models and not individual surface patches. So I will show you that here in a second by going to Review Features. And then I'm going to click on the upper left-hand corner here, From Screen. Once I click on that, what I'm going to do is I'll just click in this area here with my left mouse button. And what Faro does is it goes out there and it finds the surfaces that are in that vicinity. It shows me a couple of faces here. So I'll highlight the top one just by putting my cursor over it. And notice what happens. It looks like the upper surface is turning red, or it gives me the red lines on there. But notice the cylinder and some of the circle content and also the upstanding flange. It looks like both sides of the upstanding flange are turning red, and all of this content here is turning red, whereas I would like it to be just the individual surface patches. Let me go down to the next one there. And again, I'm seeing both sides material, like in the cylinder and in the holes, and on the upstanding flange. They are all red. Okay, well, I don't like that so much. And on the CAD side of it, there may be options inside of SolidWorks or Pro-E or CATIA or Unigraphics or whatever CAD system that you're grabbing your files from, that when they do an export of the step, that they can give you individual surface patches and wireframe content. So I would check to see if the CAD packages that you're using will actually send out or export a step model with individual surface patches. Here it looks like they're coming through as one solid model. All right, well, that doesn't help me so much. So I'm going to cancel that and reject that. And then what I'll do is I'll escape back into the review features here and just say cancel that. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to pull in the IGS file for my client. So I'm going to go back up to this icon here, which will give me a new SAT file. And I do not want to save changes. So I'll pull in the inches file here again. Say OK to that. Now what I'll do is File, Import CAD, and I will pick up this hub plate, that is the IGS file, and say Open. All right, so this will take a couple seconds to pull on through. And again, I'm reading in separate entities through these IGS files, and there could be hundreds of those entities. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to give them individual names on measurement features or on measurement areas like datum features or surfaces that I'll measure profile of a surface to. So now that this file is in, I will zoom into that same area where I was previous and looking at the step model. Okay, now I'll hit the R to regenerate that view. Notice that I don't have as much line content through these surfaces. So what I'd like to do now is go back up to Review Features and then from screen, this upper left-hand corner here, from screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on these surfaces again, or on these features here. I'll just click in this general area. Okay, it finds two faces again. But now look at the difference. If I highlight the top face, just notice that it looks like that top plane of that plate is actually highlighted red. So you can see the top of those holes is highlighted red, and the top of that slot is highlighted red. Okay, that actually is the datum A on my part here, but I'm going to look at the second one here. Okay, it looks like the bottom surface. Well, I'll highlight that top, click on it with the left mouse button, and Faro wants to save it. It looks like it's a nominal surface that it's reading from the CAD. So, of course, first thing I'm going to do is change the name to datum A surface, and I'll hit enter so it can save it into my review features. Now I'll right mouse click and notice that it is actually in my review features now. It's a surface that's actually named the datum A surface. And now that that's an individual surface patch, I can put some surface points on there and do some iterative alignments to it. I'm going to do one more patch on an upstanding flange just to show you one more time. So I'll go from screen. And let me zoom into the area here on one of these upstanding flanges. I'll say that this flange right here, maybe there was a profile of surface on that as well. So what I'll do is I'll click on it with the left mouse button in that general area. Okay, it sees everything in its way here, the datum A surface. Here's a face that looks like the bottom of the plate. Okay, that looks like the upstanding flange on the outboard side. And there, that face looks like the upstanding flange on the inboard side. And that's where I've got a profile of a surface callout. So I'm going to click on that with my left mouse button. And again, Faro wants to give it a name here. So let's call it flange left for profile. And then I hit enter on that. It still makes that surface red for me. And I'll zoom out just a little bit here. Just notice, though, that it is truly just the patch, just the surface patch in this area here. I'll hit the right mouse key for it to send back into review features. Great. Now I've got both of these surfaces, these individual surface patches in my model. So now I can do some measurement to them. So I'm going to say OK to that a second. And I'm just going to zoom out a little bit more. Now I'm going to go through some measurement on this part, and I'm going to be using these slots as datum features. So be sure you check out the module on how to construct a nominal slot that would be known as a round slot. These are perfect examples of that. So be sure you fire up that module as well.